Guys, I was doing a Facebook live stream a couple of days ago giving some dating and relationship advice. One of the guys on my live stream asked me to make a video and speak about how to deal with flakes. Flaking is a term which means, for those of you who don't know, you probably do know, you meet a girl, you get her phone number, it seems like things go well, she talks to you, she seems to like you, have a connection, she agrees to go out with you, but when you text her to set up a meeting, a date, she doesn't respond to your messages, or she blocks you. Or some girls change their mind and message you and say, it was nice to meet you, but sorry, I can't meet you, and they give you a reason. So in this video I'm going to share with you the reason I believe this is happening to you. If it's consistently happening to you, then obviously it's definitely something that you're doing that needs to change, and I'm going to explain in this video how you can change this. Now of course nothing's 100%. I'm not going to say that. There's no teaching or there's no advice that can guarantee you 100% rejection proof, but it will definitely lower your flake rate and it will increase your success in dating and relationship success with women. By the way, if you're new to my YouTube channel, I just want to explain, I'm not a pickup artist and I don't teach that stuff, alright? The stuff that I've always taught is helping men to be confident with women and honest. So I don't use tricks. If you're into that stuff, it's probably better that you don't subscribe to my channel. I'd probably prefer that you didn't. Nothing personal, I just got different values, so I don't teach that stuff. I don't believe in manipulating women and tricking women and treating women bad. I've never needed to do that with what I teach. I believe in being honest, building honest relationships, and being a confident guy, being attractive, and learning to have good social skills with women. There is a massive difference. So you're on the wrong YouTube channel. Please don't ask me questions on that, because I'm not interested in it. I don't care about it, and I don't follow it, and I don't teach it. But if you are here because you're a genuine guy and you want to learn to be more honest with women, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. But it's not my main focus on this channel anymore. My main focus is about helping people with social anxiety in general, to move forward and build more confidence as well. And also help women out with my YouTube videos, because we have subscribers, which is great. So I'm only really doing the dating and relationship series at the moment for two reasons. Because we've gone through the lockdown, I know there's been a lot of pain for men and women with the dating, and I went through it as well, because there was a long period where we couldn't date, so I wanted to share my experience during this time to help guys get back on track, get their confidence up, and help them to get their ideal relationship. So I'm more about helping guys to get a relationship. I'm not into this whole thing about teaching guys how to sleep with loads of women. That's not who I am. That's not my teaching, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not what I'm about. I'm more about getting guys into a relationship. And I understand if you're someone that doesn't want a long-term relationship, because I didn't always want that when I was younger, that's fine. I can still help you to to go on dates. So I'm not being rigid about this stuff. I'm just making it clear that I don't want people mixing me up with a pickup artist when I'm not, and I don't agree on it, and it's not who I am. I just want to make that clear. Alright, let's get into the video. So why do women flake on us? What's going on here? Why is this happening? Now, I know when I was going through this, I was going through a frustrating period, as you are right now, or any guy, where I was putting a lot of effort in, I was being myself, I was conducting myself in the right way with women. Things seemed to be going really well. Women were laughing at my jokes and the conversations were going well, and they were giving me their phone number, and they were saying that, yep, they'll go out on a date with me. But then when I would text the next day, I wouldn't get a response, or if they did respond, it would be quite a short response. It was quite, and it didn't seem like they were that interested. And when I would ask them, they'd say, oh, they were busy, or they've changed their mind, or some women just wouldn't even respond to my message. It took me a bit of a while to figure out what's going on. And the first mistake I realized I was making, you're making, I was trying too hard in my conversations with women. I was being too needy. And I believed that they could pick up on that. Maybe they couldn't see all of it straight away, but when they went away and went home and thought about me and analysed the conversation, which is what women will do naturally, right? It's human nature, we do it as well. They probably were like, actually, I'm going to leave it. The guy seemed a little bit too, he's a nice guy and confident, but a bit too eager, a bit too desperate, and that puts women off. So I reckon right now, you're trying too hard in your interactions. You're trying to get the result. You're trying to get the number. You want it too bad. So advice would be to try less harder. It doesn't mean you can't want the number. And this is something that's quite hard to explain over a video. It's something that you have to learn and develop through, getting better socially and reading social cues more when you talk to women. And it's all about confidence and self-esteem. So that's the first mistake of where you're going wrong. The second mistake that you're making, which is a lot of guys make, and I saw it when I was a relationship expert and I did it, you're not listening carefully enough when you're talking to women. Probably you're talking too much about yourself, or you're doing too much talking. And when you do that, yes, it can look impressive, and women can sometimes be impressed by that in the short run, because you've got the confidence to be extroverted, you're making jokes, you're telling stories and talking about yourself, but she's not getting a chance to have her say. She's not getting to share with you who she is, what she likes, and that's what's causing the flakes. And the fundamental reason for flaking is a lack of connection, which obviously coincides with a lack of attraction for you, because of the mistakes that you're making, the social mistakes you're making, i.e. too desperate, trying too hard, showing neediness and not listening enough, not thinking about the other person. Naturally, when you're in that mindset, guys, too selfish, you're thinking too much about yourself. The best way to give value is of course you value yourself and you're going to think about you, but to think of the other person. Think about how she feels when you're approaching her. Think about how you can make her feel more comfortable, just by being kind, being decent and projecting that, and be interested, get better in conversations. And one of the ways in which you can do that is to ask questions. A lot of guys think that's wrong or it's boring. It's not. If you ask the right questions with confidence and you're relaxed, women love that. I'll give you an example. Where did you grow up? Where are you from? Simple. And then shut up, let her speak, and she'll tell you. And then you can say, what are you doing with yourself? It's just simple. What are you passionate about? You're working at the moment, you're studying, you're involved in a hobby, and then just shut up and she'll answer. She'll tell you, she'll fill you in on what she likes. And when she's filling you in and telling you about her, she's investing. So a lot of guys don't allow women to invest enough because they're so invested in trying to prove that they're attractive, trying to show off about what they've done and their personality. And that can come off really insecure. And that can make a woman reject you and then flake on you or change her mind. So obviously it's practice, and so now you're starting to know where you're going wrong. A light bulb might hit, you might look back and go, he's right. I didn't realise I was doing that. So you also have to have the awareness, which you somewhat have by asking me. You have to have an outside opinion, because the worst thing to do is to blame women. It's not women, it's down to you. A lot of guys will create a narrative and then get negative towards women and say, all women flake on me, but it's like, what are you doing wrong? So it's very important to learn. And of course, this is the basics I've given you with conversation skills. I'll make another video at some point and give you more advanced stuff. At some point in the future, I'm going to write a book, bring a product out. So, it's learning how to not overspeak, and then knowing when to speak when you should speak. And if a woman asks you questions about yourself, that means she's interested. But if you're just having conversations and interactions with women where they're just like that, and you're doing all the speaking, not saying much, probably going to get flakes because she's not contributing to the conversation. So you be aware of that, That's really important. And of course also as well, your confidence, your vocal tonality, the way that you speak. If you're like mumbling and you've got low confidence and you're like, do you want to go out with me? She might say yes to be polite. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings, and then she changes her mind. So it's learning how to project your voice, learning how to speak up, get your state up. And you do these things by living a good life, having a purpose in life, training, eating a better diet, and practicing as well. Okay, another point is your communication skills over text message. A lot of guys are not good over text. They think they are. They send maybe silly texts, maybe trying to do, like I said before, stuff you've read in books, or some kind of pickup lines, which again comes across weird or insecure, or you're playing these games. So don't play games with women and they won't play games with you, or you won't attract women like that. Unless you want to play these games, I can't play games. I'm not interested in that. And it doesn't mean you can't be attractive, you can. And it doesn't mean you can't flirt and you can do all those things. But be honest. Don't, send silly messages. Of course you can send a joke, but try and keep things natural. Don't be sitting there trying to contrive the perfect message, because you'll kind of sense that. Just send a message. Enjoyed meeting you. How's your day? Let's go out. Do you want to go out next week? Let's do this. Be confident, be a leader. So also as well, I think it's important to get your grammar spelling right. I made that mistake years ago. And keep the messages simple. Don't send long messages, because that can come across a bit intense, a bit strange, a bit too much when you just met someone. But again, it's not being so rigid. If she sends you a long message and you've got a good connection, then you can send her a long message. So it goes both ways, doesn't it? But I'd say keep the messages brief at the start until you meet up and you date and you get to know each other. Then you can send long messages. So there's also timing. It's knowing when to do things and knowing when not to do it. And I think a lot of guys are a bit too eager, and it comes across, like I said, in your conversations, and it comes across in your messaging. So that'll raise a woman's alarm bells. She'll think, if he's too desperate, does that mean he's not got good relationships with women before, or is there something, she'll start getting suspicious about you and think that you are, you're not the guy that she wants to date. So honesty is important in all this. Respect, confidence, and trust. And the way that you build trust is through honesty and not being so needy. So these are all contributing factors. Another one which is important, I know I've touched on it, is learning to relax. A lot of guys speak too fast, or they look too nervous. So that comes with practice, learning how to get control over your social anxiety, the natural anxiety we all have, and building confidence. You can build your confidence through working on yourself, facing your fears. So if you apply these things and you improve your social skills with women, you're going to start noticing that your flakes are going to start going down. And that's when you realise that you've made positive changes. So there are all the reasons that I really believe. But fundamentally, if I can get straight to the point, I don't want to hurt your feelings, and don't take it personal, because this is how you learn, and you're going to get success eventually. If you're getting a lot of flakes, it's because they're not fully attracted to you yet, because of the behaviours that you have exhibited. So you have to change some of your behaviours. But it's important to be yourself as well, and not try and be somebody else. And that's another reason you'll get flakes. If you try and copy a guy on the internet, or use tricks or lines and model your personality off another guy that you think's good with women, you're gonna get unstuck. You're gonna get flaked, because it's not congruent with who you are. So it's important that you're congruent. You are matching your personality, because your personality is unique. So that's it. Apply those things and you'll see a difference in your dating life, alright? Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, share, comment in the box below. Let me know which tip I gave which was the most helpful for you, and let me know if I've helped you to identify where you've been going wrong in those different examples I gave with the behaviours. So your social skills need to improve, your confidence, and you need to be less needy in your interactions with women to start seeing results and more dating and relationship success, alright? Become fearless, because when you do, your life becomes limitless.